Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Bearded Parrot with a special video, something a little bit different than what I normally would do. Typically, I'm doing some live streaming VR on the Catwalk C2 Core treadmill, or some flat screen streaming with my wife and friends on some video game like Valheim or V-Rising. But you can catch us on Twitch and YouTube streaming that, by the way. But yes, today I wanted to do something a little bit different. This is more of kind of an open box review video of a game device, something I've been pretty excited about. Been doing a lot of research on gaming handheld devices for probably about a year now, and finally decided to pull the trigger on one of those. It just came in today, straight from China. It only took a couple 3 or 4 days actually to get to me too, which was pretty impressive. I got it from AliExpress from the actual GPD store, and that device is the GPD Win Mini 2024 edition. A little bit pretty similar overall to the 2023 edition, and I'll get into some of that. But essentially, this is a PC handheld. Think of it like a gaming laptop that has game controls, like a Switch or a Nintendo DS, something of that nature. And the reason why I like this one so much, you'll see in just a second, is the form factor of it. It is one of the smallest, if not the smallest, PC gaming handheld on the market currently, compared to all of the other ones like the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally, and the Lenovo Legion Go, and a host of others that exist out there. But yeah, uh, just got it. It came in this white box here. Obviously in a cardboard box first that it was shipped in. I opened that up, but there was actually no taping or anything on this box, which I thought was a little odd. Normally you'd have some kind of protective cellophane or something over it, but it did not have that. Just the white box itself. So let's go ahead and open it up and check it out here. As you can see on the inside, looks like there is a instruction manual of some sort, packet that it comes with. You also get, obviously, the device itself in a plastic sleeve. We'll open that up here in just a second. And then on the inside, it looks like you are going to get your adapter and the USB-C cable for that power adapter. So it is a 65 watt power adapter, so uh, that is plenty of power to power this little device. All right, pulled out the instruction manual. It says the GPD Win Mini 2024. Also has that in Chinese. It's got some QR codes, so you can go to their website. And as soon as you open it up, you automatically get a diagram of all of the buttons and whatnot on the device itself. And obviously a picture diagram of the ports on the back, which I'll get into as well during this review. Let's go ahead and get started into the device itself. Really nice right away. I can tell a nice black, sleek design. GPD etched on the top of the device itself. On the back, I can already see some airflow for some fans, and we also see that on the back of the device as well. Uh, Pretty small device overall. It might look pretty massive in my hands here, but I do have pretty small hands overall. Let's see if I can give you a comparison of some sort. Here is an 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. Line that up with the device, so it is roughly about the size actually of the controller itself. If you look, just a tad bit bigger around the edges, obviously. There's a display and whatnot, but yeah, pretty small in size overall. It's pretty impressive that this is a full PC handheld, and I will get into the specs here in a second, but let's open her up and check her out here. All right, that is very nice. All right, we can see we actually have the screen, and we have a touchpad on there. We have a full QWERTY keyboard on the bottom. And then we also have analog joysticks. These are Hall effect joysticks with the full button pressing there. A D-pad here on the left of the device, and then 4 action buttons here on the right. We also have two shoulder buttons on each side. As you can see, you have the grips and then the standard shoulder buttons. And it looks like just by pushing the button, I actually turned it on. So it's starting to boot up here. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like here in just a second. A full touchpad, like I said, and the analog joysticks on the left and right, the D-pad, the action buttons, full QWERTY keyboard, which I will say is very responsive. Honestly, I was expecting it to be like the old school kind of PDA like kind of keyboards or something you would get on like a Sidekick or something from some old phones. But as soon as you touch these keys, they're almost instantaneous. I had to kind of retrain my brain a little bit on how to touch them. But as I was doing that, I was just kind of flying through typing, which is really shocking to me. I didn't think I would get a ton of use out of it. I figured it would be somewhat useful for certain applications, but full on typing was actually working with it, which was really cool. Um, Microphone is over here. And on the back, I did want to go over the ports. The 2023 model actually had an Oculink port, which, if you're not familiar with that, is a type of external port that allows you to hook up more powerful devices that require higher transmission rate, like an external GPU, for instance. So you could have actually plugged in an external graphics card. You still can with this one. It actually comes with a USB 4.0 USB A port here, which USB 4.0 speeds are pretty fast. It comes with an SD card slot. There's a switch on the back here that actually allows you to switch between gamepad or mouse mode. So it will simulate the fact that you actually have an Xbox gamepad hooked up to the computer, or you could use the joysticks in a mouse emulation mode. So in case you are playing a game that is more like a keyboard, traditional keyboard mouse game, it'll pick up that and use that, which is pretty interesting. And then it has two USB-C ports on the back for power, and then obviously to connect other devices such as external monitors or keyboard, mice, whatever it may be that you have. It has Wi-Fi 6 built into it. It also has Bluetooth built into it as well. The screen is 7 inches. It's a 120 hertz screen. It's a VRR, which means a variable refresh rate landscape native display, which means that the display itself is in a native display, and if the resolution needs to change based on the game itself, mid game, if something's changing on the screen, it'll automatically do that and adjust. So you could play certain games. The original or the 2023 version of the GPD Mini had the Oculink port, which is, I guess, a bonus over this one, technically, even though it does have the USB 4, which is not quite as fast as Oculink, but still works. But it did not have the variable refresh rate, and it was a portrait-based native display, which caused some issues with some of the games. Not too many, but there was definitely some issues, so they upgraded the model from there. At some point in time throughout, I'll have specs and stuff up on the screen as I'm saying them, but I could just run through them real quick. I already did some of that, which was obviously, like I said, the Ryzen 7 8840U, 8 cores, 5.1 gigahertz, 780M Radeon integrated GPU. GPU clock speed actually can go up to 2700 megahertz. 7-inch variable refresh rate display, landscape native. Could do 60 or 120 hertz. 1920 by 1080 is the resolution. The It could go up to 64 gigs of RAM. You can actually get a 16 gig model. This is the 32 gig RAM model with a 512 gig solid state drive. You can actually go all the way up to a 2 terabyte, and it's an M.2 NAND flash, so really fast. Really power efficient as well. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth, as I mentioned, 5.2 Bluetooth, and the USB 4, USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C, USB A 10 gigabits per second slot, micro SD, and did not see it, but apparently there is I don't see that. Maybe that is wrong on the list that I'm listing off, but it says that there's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, but I don't see that. There's a microphone built into the top of the unit. No built-in camera, but that's all right. I mean, I'm not sure. Oh wait, there is. I take that back. There is a microphone and a headphone jack in the back there. You could use that for a microphone or a headphone or both, obviously with a headset like what I'm wearing now, which is pretty cool. So you could have an external microphone and headphones if you'd like, instead of using the built-in speakers. On the sides, I noticed there's actually a little bit of a, might be kind of hard to see. You can see there's a little bit of a grip, which is kind of nice when you're holding the device on both sides, like a video game controller, playing it like an actual console. Um, and yeah, we have a start button, R4 and L4 buttons, which could be mapped, and then a menu button, which is kind of cool. When I double clicked that, it brought up Steam, and when I double clicked it again, let's see if it does it again, which is kind of cool. It's programmed to do that by default. Yes, it goes into Steam Big Picture mode, which gives you more of a console-y type feel when you're going through your game library, so you can pick your different games and whatnot and play them. I have V Rising installed on this. It's a open world survival vampire game. Never played it with a controller, but I feel like it is pretty fitting for a controller based on just the action RPG element to it. So we'll try that out. And then I have a Super Nintendo emulator that I put on this that I actually shared with the network at home. With this, that's the beauty of having a Windows 11 operating system built into this already and pre-installed. You get all the benefits of having a normal Windows operating system on there. So you could actually hook up like Xbox Live and get like your standard cloud services and stuff too if you wanted to stream games as opposed to just having them installed on the device. But so far, really impressed. Really cool device. I'll be getting lots of use out of it for sure. Just not just for travel, but at home and playing at night, maybe laying down if you want to play a game. Or also, I have an external monitor, 15-inch monitor, and a 65% portable mechanical gaming keyboard that I got. So I'll actually be using this as a full workstation too when I go outside to enjoy the outside air and do some like game development or something. I could actually do that on this device. I can install Unity and Visual Studio Code and do some coding on this, which is really cool. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some of the games. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play some V Rising. On-screen keyboard, it says. To enter text in this game, you'll need to open the on-screen keyboard. Okay. It might not be the case. It might think that I don't have a keyboard, so. And you should be able to see everything here. So I'm actually moving the. Oop. I can adjust the brightness like that. Hold A to continue. Okay. Alright, continue. Alright. Alright, I am able to use the keyboard on the game itself. So as you see, this is how I'm holding it. I do feel a little warmth here on the right side. There was some reports depending on, and I can talk about that here in a little bit after we play this game and show you. There's an app that you can change the TPD, which is the power settings. I failed to mention the battery, which I apologize. It is 44.24 watt hours, and it's a lithium polymer. But anyway, the TPD, what that essentially means is you can adjust how much wattage you're actually pushing. The more wattage you push, the better performance you get in your games, but the less battery life you get. So a lot of people recommend around 12 watts or so, and you can play a lot of decent games at around the 12 frames per second range. And I'm gonna
This
skip the... Alright, it's making me choose a character. That kind of sucks. I didn't want to have to do this. I thought I was going to be able to... That's probably because I just don't have cloud save set up. Okay. Alright. I'm not gonna... That's fine. I'm not gonna worry about a name or anything like that. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the very beginning. I guess that's not that big of a deal. Alright, let's see. B is dash. Okay. A is jump. Okay, that's how I hold my menu. X. Okay, that's pretty natural. The right trigger is the attack. Alright. If I hold the left trigger, I can strafe left and right. And I'm just going to dash through here. I just want to see if I can beat up on some enemies. Looks pretty good. Sounds pretty good. I'd probably change some of these control schemes, to be honest. Okay, so if I hold the left trigger and then use the right analog stick, I can move the camera around. Alright. So yeah, I'm playing V Rising. That's pretty much the game here. I mean, there's a lot more to it, obviously, but this is the very beginning stages. Kind of beating up on some things and collecting some resources, but this is not a V Rising review. This is a review of the device, but overall, feels pretty good in my hand. I am resting my elbows on my chair. But I guess if I was sitting on a park bench or something, maybe over time, there's a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too bad. The weight is 520 grams.
3 hours later.
Let's see, how would we escape? Okay, so I can hit the menu button, and then I can say exit game, confirm. Okay, so it's starting to get a little warm. I think we'll take a look at the... we're going to exit big screen mode. But yeah, so there's your standard Steam, and you can move the window around. As you can see, I'm using the touchscreen to do it, or and that's kind of nice too. You know, you can utilize the fact that Windows has like these snapping edges to kind of make give you some more space for things. So like, say you want your friends list or in your Steam list there, and then you can pull up your library and do it the standard way. Or you could do touchpad and actually move things around. And you can click in the middle, and that will click. And as you can see, I'm using OBS to actually record this, but I think that was a pretty good display of it. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, it's the GPD Mini 2024 edition. You can pick these up on AliExpress for the $800 range, free shipping, and I got it within 4 to 5 days from China, which is really cool. Definitely worth it. I mean, this is pretty much a full gaming laptop in a small game form factor, game console form factor. You can hook this up. You could make this your full desktop computer if you wanted to. You could set up a docking station or just use the USB-C ports on the back and set up your external monitors and your keyboard and mice and make this a full gaming computer. You can even do external GPUs with the USB 4.0, but it's not going to be as fast as Oculink, but it still would work, and you could do it, which is really cool. But really cool device. Really happy with it so far. I got to get into it some more and do more stuff with it myself. But I mean, the fact that I was able to actually do recording on this device to show you the games and then record on my computer too at the same time, which is really cool. The fact that I was able to very quickly get Steam installed and get some games installed and even get network sharing set up pretty quickly is pretty impressive overall. There wasn't much that I had to mess with. Now, some people might complain and say like the Steam Deck has a, like their Proton or whatever, big picture Steam Deck interface that you can use to select things, and it looks nicer and it's easier to use. And there are some interfaces that you can download for this as well. And like as you saw, big picture mode does work, which is cool. But if you want to play something outside of Steam, you can get some overlays or window management type applications in order to have that full kind of console experience. If that's what you're really looking for, I don't mind having the Windows experience because of the touchpad and the touch screen and the keyboard and so forth. So it's pretty easy to maneuver. And I even changed some of the scaling settings and stuff so I could see more of the screen. And I made it tinier than probably what it needs to be. But anyway, I'm fine with that. But yeah, pretty happy with it overall. Again, it is a AMD Ryzen 7 8840U processor. 32 gigs of RAM is the model I have, but it does go up to 64 gig. I have the 512 gig storage model, but it does go up to 2 terabytes. It comes in white and black, I believe, are the two colors you can get. I chose black. I like black on pretty much almost all of my electronics. And built-in microphone, built-in Bluetooth, Wi-Fi 6, full controls, analog, Hall effect joysticks, D-pad, buttons, action buttons on programmable buttons on the front, like start and select and R4, L4. Full QWERTY keyboard, which, as you saw, I was able to type on pretty decently. And the triggers on the back, left and right shoulder buttons, and even a microphone, headphone jack, extra USB ports, USB-C, and the switch on the back, which I didn't actually check out on the review, but that's something that you can look into later on. And I'll probably play around with it where you can switch between keyboard and mouse and gamepad mode, and then an SD card actually in order to over here for more storage on top of the storage that it already comes with. So really cool device. Pick it up. I suggest it. Definitely just on the little bit that I've played with it so far, and really going to get into it and start getting in and start playing some games. So until next time, you'll probably check out some of my streams. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you like the content here, you like some of my streams, and check us out on Twitch at Bearded Parrot on twitch.com and follow us there. The more people we have watching the streams when I'm playing games, the more people are interacting and chatting, and the more fun it is. So if you like some of the games that I play and some of the stuff that I talk about, to be tech type stuff like this, video games, game development, all that kind of fun stuff to come some more on the channel. So I look forward to that and look forward to sharing that with everyone. So again, this is Bearded Parrot. Until next time, keep gaming.